The Trump administration launching a plan to simplify how Americans access and share medical records through health systems and apps. Companies including Amazon, Apple, and Google have agreed to help develop new ways to make sharing information with various providers easier. Privacy experts worry, though, that wider access to data could also mean less security.
The proposed program would allow Americans to share their personal data on apps run by private tech companies like Google, Amazon, and Apple. But there are concerns about how that health information could be shared.
So healthcare systems, doctors, we're regulated very tightly in how we use your health information. But if that information leaves and goes to an app that is not regulated in the same way, a lot of apps make money, most of them make money by selling data. Secondly, could your information be misused? What if they gave your information to the IRS or the DEA or ATF? So there's some real concerns about that.
Well, the Trump administration says its unified database would offer providers a fuller picture of your health. The program could start as early as next year.
New tonight, the Trump administration is eyeing Oak Ridge for a new AI data center. The U.S. Department of Energy chose 4 potential sites for such centers and energy generation projects. This to help the Trump administration remove obstacles to artificial intelligence development.
The Oak Ridge reservation made the cut. 10 News reporter Lauren Davis explains the impact on that sprawling campus, critical to the race to win World War II, now expected to help America dominate development of artificial intelligence.
The Energy Secretary calls using Department of Energy land like the Oak Ridge Reservation a bold move to push AI forward. He calls it the next Manhattan Project.
We're confident that we can help meet that challenge and win that race against adversaries and other parts of the country.
AI infrastructure is not new in Tennessee. An AI supercomputer is already housed in Memphis.
We've just seen like an enormous amount of air pollution add to the burden that we already experience in Memphis. We're one of the top of the list asthma capitals in the country. We have a problem with smog.
But Mike McGill says using nuclear power can make it cleaner.
I think part of what we are doing, utilizing the technology and the knowledge and the research that we have now, we know how to do it safer, we know how to do it cleaner.
Reporting in Knoxville, I'm Lauren Davis.
In remarks from the East Room of the White House today, President Donald Trump touted the launch of the new system, offering streamlined records access and wellness apps run by private tech companies.
For decades, America's healthcare networks have been overdue for a high-tech upgrade, and that's what we're doing. The existing systems are often slow, costly, and incompatible with one another. But with today's announcement, we take a major step to bring healthcare into the digital age, something that is absolutely vital. We got to do it. Moving from clipboards and fax machines into a new era of convenience, profitability, and speed, and frankly, better health people.
The event included leaders from more than 60 companies, including major tech companies such as Google and Amazon. The new system will focus on diabetes and weight management and will incorporate artificial intelligence. Still, critics warn the system poses privacy and ethical risks, particularly outside existing healthcare guardrails.
Today, the dream of easily transportable electronic medical records finally becomes a reality. This will allow patients to easily transmit information from one doctor to another, even if they're different networks and using different record-keeping systems. No matter what system they use, they're all transferable. The new standards will also make it simple for patients to access their own personal health records. I don't want to see mine, please. I don't want to see. I don't know about you. They have all sorts of things, sir. They can tell you exactly what your problem is going to be in 6 years. We can do it. They have all these different things. I don't know if they work or not, but I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. If I got a problem, I don't want to know about it right now. But it is amazing what they're doing. I don't know. Does it actually work? Can they do that? All right. Well, then I'm glad I said I don't want to know. But thanks to this announcement, healthcare providers across the country will also finally be able to kill the clipboard. It's an expression that's used, capital, with a capital C, kill the clipboard. Instead of filling out the same tedious paperwork at every medical appointment, patients will simply be able to grant their doctors access to their records at the push of a button. Just a button and you're all set, and all the information the doctor needs will be immediately transmitted.
The goal is to update the old, antiquated methods of storing healthcare data on pad and paper and make it easier to share information between doctors, insurance, and patients.
Instead of filling out the same tedious paperwork at every medical appointment, patients will simply be able to grant their doctors access to their records at the push of a button.
The new system will initially focus on monitoring chronic conditions like diabetes and weight management and include digital tools to help register patients for check-ins or track medications. Proponents say it could even be used to provide better health outcomes using artificial intelligence to create treatment plans and potentially spot problems before they arise.
It gives people the choice over their own health decisions and over their own lives, and it gives them a sense of responsibility.
But it's also raising major ethical and privacy concerns. Critics say putting medical data into the hands of private companies could lead to misuse or exploitation.
The question is, do you trust the company, and what are they going to do with it after they're done helping you?
I recently got a text message from a friend whose wife has been suffering from a chronic illness for something like a decade, and they've been trying to figure out what it is. They've never been able to figure it out. And I just want to read this to you right off my phone. He said, I uploaded my wife's blood work into one of our leading AI engines on Friday. It essentially diagnosed her as having a rare genetic defect that causes bone marrow failure. It's caused every single thing that's happened to her. She has every single symptom. It started at exactly at the same age of presentation. It's 10 people out of 1 million. There's absolutely no way this is not it. So wow, it's really an incredible example of what AI is already able to do just today. And we're just getting started. And this was one person putting his wife's data in, one of our consumer AI apps. And he's already been able to get that diagnosis, and that's going to help them tremendously. The key is the unlocking of the data, because the more data that AI has, the better it performs. And so, kudos to Dr. Oz and Secretary Kennedy for this pledge today. They were able to get 60 major companies across different sectors of the economy to agree to unlock their data so that AI can use it to drive better patient outcomes. And this is, all due to your leadership and President Trump's leadership to put the American people's healthcare needs first. And I remember Dr. Oz, he was one of the first people to call me during the transition when the president announced I'd be AI czar, because he wanted to ask me about how AI could better be used in healthcare. So kudos to you, Dr. Oz. Your passion's really incredible. And kudos to you, Secretary Kennedy, your passion as well. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was a big fan of Bobby Kennedy when he was running as a Democrat. And I remember thinking,
a lot more money than President Trump.
Well, I remember thinking there's this one problem with Bobby Kennedy. He's not a Republican, but thanks to President Trump, I think we fixed that. So, and I think that getting people like Dr. Oz and Bobby Kennedy into the administration is a testament to President Trump and the talent that he's able to attract and pull together, and the partnerships that he's able to forge, because these are people who could be doing other things. So it's really a testament to the great talent that President Trump always attracts around him.